Okay, pile one. Sorry if you can hear the noise outside, but what are you repressing? You have the Moon and Knight of Cups. Very simply, you're repressing your emotions. And I'm getting that you are going through the daily motions of life. You're sort of waking up and very in an automated, almost like robotic way, you're going through your to-do list and you're not really ever stopping to consider if these are the things that you want to do or if these are the things that you want to put your energy into. I think that you work very hard and there's sort of this daily grind, but you've separated how you're feeling and your inner world from your outer world. And I'm sort of getting that you're living in kind of a hollow way where you're just doing things, but you're not feeling very invested in them. There's a big difference between someone who is checked in with themselves, who know what they want, and then throw themselves into the actions of creating a life that they truly desire, one that they feel fully immersed in, and what you're doing, which is sort of doing the motions and not really being invested in any of it. It's sort of this emptiness and sort of a hollowness. There's this feeling that all of your energy is going into daily tasks, but you're not really thinking about if that's where you want your energy to go, if this is truly the life that you still want to build. Maybe it was in the past, but I'm getting the feeling that you're just not really checking in with yourself and seeing how you feel about the life you're in right now. I pulled cards on advice. This is Princess of Swords, Five of Cups, and King of Wands. With Princess of Swords, swords are a mental energy. This is someone who is comfortable with thoughts and thinking and rationality, which is interesting that this is advice for emotions, because I think that it's saying if you're not comfortable and confident with emotions, like the advice is to stop, slow down, sit down and really check in with yourself, and you can scan your sort of inner world and emotional world through a very mental lens if that's what you're comfortable with. It's saying you can intellectually assess what you're truly thinking and feeling about the life that you're in and the actions that you're taking every day. Five of Cups is about perspective. On the traditional card, it's someone is looking at, I believe it's 3 cups that are spilled and knocked over, but there's 2 cups behind them that they could be looking at. And I think these cards are asking you to really look at your life and assess it. Look at all these different aspects and assets to it and figure out how you feel about each one. Is this, cup, is this aspect of your life something that you feel fully invested in and you want to throw your energy into? Because the answer could be no, or it could be yes. And when you do it, if you assess it and you're like, yes, this is what I want to build. I see where this energy and this action is going, and I want that life for myself. Then when you throw yourself into it, you're doing it with so much more energy and vigor and power. And that's the card we have next, is King of Wands. King of Wands is blunt, direct. The main thing he knows is what he wants, and he goes for it, and he doesn't make any excuses, and he doesn't let anyone stop him. Like, he has such a force and power in himself for going in exactly the direction that he knows he wants to go. Like, wands and fire energy know what they want. And it's saying that if you stopped and slowed down and really evaluated your life in terms of how you feel about it, not if it's logical. Like, there could be a job where there could be an avenue you take where you get a lot of money, but you never ever have any time off. You don't get to see your family, or you miss a lot of things. I mean, this is just an example. Apply it however you want. But when you really, it might seem logical to take it because it's a good position or a lot of money. But when you really assess it, you might feel that it would be very sad for you to miss out on so much with your family and not have any time for yourself. So they're asking you to assess these things in terms of feeling and emotion. Do you want to throw your whole emotional self and all of your life force energy into the things that you're doing? Are they truly in alignment with what your inner world wants? And the card on the bottom of the deck is the Empress. I really feel like once you do this, it will unlock a sort of different level of life, different level of like manifestation, you being able to create things. Because I feel like you have been going through the physical motions, but without the emotional energy to back it, things haven't been very powerful. You have King of Wands and the Empress. These are extremely powerful cards, and these are cards that get what they want. Empress is so powerful. She sits on her throne, and things that she wants, she just sort of attracts into her. And I feel like if you fully embody your emotional energy and then go after the things you want, it will be so much more powerful than this sort of hollowed out way that you've been living, and things will just sort of unlock for you, and you will be able to build a more full, exciting, and fulfilling life. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you for being here, and hope to see you next time. Bye. Okay, pile 2. What are you repressing? You got Justice and the Wheel of Fortune. What you are repressing is the universe's ability to work in your favor. With Justice, you're repressing fairness to yourself. And in that, you are keeping this wheel from turning so that bad situations can leave your life and good situations can come in. So I'm getting that there is something that you are clinging on to that isn't good for you, that you keep giving the benefit of the doubt. If this is a person, a relationship, a home situation, a job situation, a friend, that is being very clearly unfair to you and not being what you truly deserve, but you are thinking, well, they're going through a hard time, or you're making an excuse for them and for the situation and holding on to it. And in that, you are keeping the scales from balancing, and you are keeping the wheel from spinning. The scales that the Justice has and the Wheel of Fortune are both things that want to have movement in your life where bad things leave, good things come in. But you're really clogging up the whole system by clinging on to something and making excuses for it instead of saying, this isn't fair to me, this isn't right, and letting it go. So you're in there's just a situation that, and I feel like you know this. Like, you're very clear that you're not being treated the way you want to be treated. You are not getting what it is you really deserve. You're sort of selling yourself short in what you deserve from other people and situations. And it's keeping you stuck in the negative. You're clinging on to something that you should be letting go. And your life isn't moving forward in a more positive direction because of it. So I pulled more cards for advice. 8 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. These are very sweet cards, and this is a sweet energy. It's saying take little small actions towards what feels good. So 8 of Pentacles is Lord of Prudence. It's sort of this soft, sweet way of taking action. You know, if you get like 8 of Wands is this crazy, fiery, like you just ride in and take everything, don't care what's in your path. 8 of Pentacles is about just slowly and quietly going about changing things. Slowly and quietly taking actions towards a better life. And with 6 of Cups, it says Lord of Pleasure at the bottom of the card. This is, in the traditional deck, there's 2 kids in it, and one is giving the other flowers. Like, it's a very sweet card. It's a very childlike card. It's a very just happy and sweet and joyful. And I think the advice for you is to slowly turn away from those bad situations and turn into like sweet things that make you happy and that make you smile. This isn't saying blow up your entire life. It's saying just simply let go and turn away. Instead of going to this person or situation and doing something with them, say you can't because you're busy, and go for a walk through a park and listen to the wind through the trees or look at the flowers, something like that. They're saying just softly go towards something that is more emotionally fulfilling and that makes you happy and that really pleases this deeper inner child part of you. And if you do that, I was just talking about the power of Wands, and then Princess of Wands comes through with 3 of Swords. It's an interesting energy. Princess of Wands there's literally a tiger in this card. Like, she is powerful. She doesn't care. She knows what she wants and she goes for it. And whatever has to get burned in her path is what gets burned in her path, because she is someone who will not in any way take away from herself just to give to people who aren't valuing her. She's not going to pour out her cup and exhaust herself emotionally for people who don't care about if her cup is full or not, who don't care about her. And 3 of Swords is the heartbreak card. And I think that this plays into her being willing to burn bridges because she didn't want to be in that place anyway. You know, if she's in a space that isn't good for her and she leaves and goes somewhere else, she will burn the bridge behind her. And she doesn't care because that place didn't value her, it didn't love her, and it didn't care about her. So this is saying that if you take the previous action and you move towards things that make you feel good and you move towards filling up your cup instead of just constantly pouring it into other people, if you say, I matter too, and you fill up your cup and you fill up your emotional energy and you just feel good, it will give you more power and you will be okay. Eventually, this is saying this doesn't have to be a big, quick thing, but it's saying as your cup fills up, it will give you more power and you will be okay letting things go. You'll say, you don't value me, so I'm not going to do that thing for you that I used to do. I'm not going to exhaust myself for someone who doesn't value me. And if it breaks someone's heart, or if they try to like manipulate you or use your, with this Three of Swords, I'm really getting that sometimes your sympathy and your empathy and your big heart for people can get used against you. If you say, I can't go do this thing for you, I have something for myself, they'll be like, oh, well, you don't care, you know, things like that, which are very manipulative. They're using your sympathy to keep you theirs instead of yours. And that doesn't work when they don't care about you. You have to get your emotional energy filled up in some capacity from somewhere. And things are supposed to be reciprocal. So this is saying it will give you the energy and the power to break away from those emotionally manipulative situations, or just situations where you aren't valued. And if somebody tries to pull the, oh, you're just so mean and horrible, you're going to say whatever and leave. You're not going to care because you'll have a new value for yourself. And it doesn't matter if you leave broken hearts behind, because I just really feel like someone is sort of being a parasite to your life and is just sort of sucking you dry and giving you nothing in return. And that's not fair. And if you focus on filling up your cup, you're just going to have the strength and the power to tell them no and not be manipulated by them pretending that they care or using your sympathy against you. The next card that came out is also very powerful. Once you get the strength and the power to leave this situation, this is Queen of Pentacles. This was a crazy card to come out because it's totally not like the rest of the energies. This is someone who is on top of the world in their own way. Like, she's built her life. She has her strength. She knows her worth. Every single brick in her castle she put there herself, and she knows it, so no one can tear it down. No one can take anything from her. She's a powerhouse, and her foundation was built by her. So she understands the work she did to put into it, and no one can make her feel less valuable than she truly is. And I feel like once you let go of these situations, and once you refuse to be around people and in spaces that don't value you, you will just automatically come into this incredible power of valuing yourself, and it will be so much easier for you to build a life that actually suits you. You got more cards than the other piles, but the next cards that came out are Seven of Wands and High Priestess. This is, I was pulling for what can happen after you take the action. Seven of Wands is an underdog. High Priestess is someone who is extremely powerful in her intuition and emotional energy. Your emotional energy is being completely drained by the situation that you're holding on to. And once it's gone, I think you will be in shock as to what your emotional energy can truly be and can truly do. This is a very spiritually powerful woman who has a lot of clarity about people and is so in touch with her spirit and her soul that she's just like psychic, like she's mystical. She understands things. She can't be deceived. She can't be manipulated. She sees right through things. So this is the underdog winning and becoming extremely powerful in her own right. And the last cards I have, which are the same thing, what can happen after you embrace this power and turn away from these situations, is Five of Wands, which is fight, and Nine of Wands, which is strength. Lord of great strength is on the bottom of the Nine of Wands. What I'm getting for this is that if people try to fight you and try to battle you in any sort of way, if they try to emotionally manipulate you, if they try to pull anything on you or against you, you will know that you have the great strength to refuse it. I feel like once you get out of this situation and you embrace your power, you will not get in this type of a situation again. because you will understand the strength that it took to get out of it in the first place. And you will feel so much stronger and more powerful that you just understand that you have the strength to not get involved in other people's pettiness, in their manipulations, in their issues and their problems. And if they try to bring their crap into your life, you will have the strength to very easily refuse it. It's a very powerful ending to this pile. You got a power card after a power card, and there is so much strength for you on the other side of this. So just take it small and focus on yourself and filling up your cup, because you matter and you deserve it. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you for being here, and hope I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, pile 3. What are you repressing? You have Fortitude, Death, and 4 of Swords. What you are repressing is your fight, your fire, and your knowing of what you want. And in repressing that, you are keeping life and your situation from transforming into something more peaceful. Fortitude is the strength card. This is, like, the description of the card on the bottom says daughter of the flaming sword. Like, this woman has a flaming sword and she is fighting and she is certain of what she wants. This is a symbol for North Node. That is destiny. There is a hard-headedness to this card, and a stubbornness, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to get what you want, because you know what you want and it's very clear and you're meant to get it. And there is this certainty of, I am meant to have this thing, so I will do whatever it takes to have it, because it is mine, and that's how things are meant to be. There is such a strength and a fieriness and a tenacity to this card. And that is what you are repressing. The card next to it is Death, which is transformation. And 4 of Swords, which says at the bottom of the card, rest from strife. This is peace. In not embracing your fight and your fire and your sureness about a certain situation, where you are keeping your situation worse. You're sort of locking in what you don't want by refusing to go for what you want. Death and 4 of Swords is a transformation which leads to a peaceful, restful place. And it sounds counterintuitive, but by not taking up the fight, you're actually keeping yourself from a greater sense of peace. Because any peace you feel in your life right now feels kind of uneasy, because there's a situation you either don't want in your life that you want gone, and you're not fighting it to make it leave, or there's something that you want desperately in your life, but you aren't fighting to get it. And in that, you get sort of this momentary peace, but it's uneasy, and it's not deep and real the way that the 4 of Swords card is. So these cards are saying, if you stop repressing this and just alight your fire and fight for things to be better, that it will open up your life to be able to transform and for you to get to a better situation. I pulled cards for, that was already kind of the advice for what to do, but I pulled more cards about advice. Queen of Cups and 4 of Pentacles. These cards are saying what you should do is get in touch and in tune with your deepest self. Queen of Cups is the queen of emotions. This is the queen of the inner world. This is a person who is extremely self-aware and extremely intuitive. She knows every corner of her own being. She knows exactly what she wants. And I feel like these cards are telling you to sort of stop, slow down, sit down for a bit, and just truly assess your inner self and find out what it is you want out of your life and what it is you want in your life. Four of Pentacles, Lord of Earthly Power. This is a card of foundation. These two cards are telling me that if you truly get in touch with yourself, you have the ability to build a foundation that suits exactly who you are, and no aspect of it will be someone else's life. It will be you authentically, and it will have in it what you want, and it will not have what you can keep out what you want and keep sorry. Got them mixed up. You will keep out what you don't want and keep in what you do want. Getting in touch with just your deep soul, sort of primal heart, emotional desires is what this is asking you to do. Sit down, go inside of yourself, and really figure out what you want and what you don't want, and then refuse to do anything but go after it. I pulled cards for, if you follow this advice, what will happen on the other side. Very powerful cards here. Queen of Pentacles and Princess of Wands. I'm trying to straighten it out for you, but Queen of Pentacles, this goes back to the Four of Pentacles. This is someone who has built her foundation. She has built her foundation that she wants. It is exactly how she wants it. She knows how it was built. She put it in herself. She did the work. She knows the power and the value of that. She knows everything that she did to get it, all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it. And absolutely no person can tell her what should or shouldn't be in her own foundation. It's hers, and she knows it. She owns it. She built it. It's very, very powerful card. Next to it is Princess of Wands. This is someone who goes after what she wants without a care in the world. Like, if she has to burn bridges, she will burn bridges because she didn't want to be in the original place anyway. She left for a reason, and she doesn't need to go back. So it's a similar energy. Queen of Pentacles is a bit more slow, steady, methodical. And I think that's the general advice. But Princess of Wands is saying, if you need to just blow something up in your life, if you need to say, this place or this person or this thing isn't good for me, so I don't really care what happens when I leave. It's saying that overall you're very responsible, but if there are times where responsibility would take too much away from you and your energy and the life you want to build, to just not be responsible in those situations. Overall, I'm getting the Queen of Pentacles energy where she is responsible. She does do things the right way, but then I think on occasion, maybe there will be instances where, like, this is just an example, just apply it however it suits your life. But if you're trying to responsibly leave a job and the boss and the people there are like, no, well, we need you to stay for one more week to do this, or we need you to stay for another week to do that. Well, you didn't train this person for this position. Like, they keep trying to take too much from you. Then the cards are saying, just let that burn behind you. It's not your job to make sure that, you've done the responsible thing already. People are trying to take advantage of you. Just walk away If it goes up in flames behind you, it's not your problem because you did what you were supposed to do in the first place. That's the energy that you could move into, which is someone who builds their life their way. The next cards are interesting. This is Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a situation that is deceitful, deceptive, unfair, and wrong. And next to it was Ace of Swords, which is clarity. So I don't know what kind of situation you're in. Maybe you don't really know yourself. Maybe there's elements or to this situation or people that aren't the best and you can't really figure out their intentions. But this is saying when you embrace that sort of Queen of Pentacles, Princess of Wands energy, when you just sort of doing things you need to do for yourself, it will give you this Ace of Swords clarity, and you will start to see things more clearly. And if someone tries to deceive you or be deceptive, or this is actually going back to what we were talking about with the Princess of Wands. If someone is trying to take advantage of you or be unfair to you, you will have the clarity with the Ace of Swords, and you will be able to just cut the cord and leave that situation. So at the start of this pile, it really seemed like there was something that you wanted that you weren't going for. But as the cards keep going, it seems more like there is negative things in your life that you need to embrace your fight and get them out of your life. Get out of bad situations so you can get to better ones. The last cards are what could happen if, sort of what's on the other side if you embrace your fight and your fire. Nine of Pentacles and King of Swords. This is beautiful energy. Nine of Pentacles is complete, like, independence, boss energy. This is someone who has everything they need and who just built it themselves and can do whatever they want now. This is someone who has a freedom and can follow their own desires and has all the resources they need to live life the way they want to live it. And there's also the ability to create more resources. This is the opposite of scarcity. This is someone who is so sure of themselves that they can create resources to do things that they want. It's powerful. And King of Swords is interesting. This is someone who is very perceptive, very clear. This is really, the Swords energy surprised me with this. Is really seeming like there is a situation where someone is being deceptive or deceitful, is going behind your back. There could be a situation where you're not even really very sure of what's going on. But it's saying if you sort of follow this advice, you can get to a situation where everything is clear and you know everyone's intentions and they're all good and positive. It's saying you can get to a place where you see people's intentions for you so clearly that bad intentions don't make it into your circle. Everyone around you is solid and authentic and honest, and no one is trying to be sneaky behind anyone else's back. This is a very powerful ending. It's saying that in the end, if you embrace your what you know you want and you embrace your fight, you can get to a place where you have a much better circle around you, where you're in a much better situation, and you're completely confident in yourself to get the resources to live life the way that you want. Okay, that's all I have for you. I hope it was helpful, and thank you for being here. Bye. Okay, pile 4. What are you repressing? Got Princess of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and Universe. You are repressing your innate human ability to create the life that you want. Princess of Pentacles is someone who is sort of at the beginner stages of building the foundations that they want in their life, of getting the earthly, tangible life that she wants around her. Knight of Wands. I mean, look at this card. It is fight, force, and fire. This knight rushes in faster than anything else. It says Lord of Flame and Lightning. He just rides in, burns whatever is in his way, and charges full steam ahead, faster and harder than anyone else in the whole deck, to go straight to what he wants. And Universe is the World card. It is the big, complete picture. And these cards are telling me that what you're repressing is your ability, or even attempts to, well, I don't want to say that. You probably have tried. You probably have tried to build things that you want and to get life to go in your favor. I think that you feel incredibly powerless. I think that that is this feels quite heavy, and I think you've sort of sunken into powerlessness. Maybe you have tried multiple times to get life to go your way, or to get a better existence, and it hasn't really worked out. Maybe you're in a job that you hate, and you're working so hard, and you're not even making enough to pay for the basics of living, let alone build the actual life and home and existence that would be preferable to you, that would be your highest dream. These cards are telling me that maybe you're at a point where you could, I'm not saying you're at this point, but it could be anywhere on the spectrum where you've sort of given up and sort of surrendered, and you just don't know what to do because things aren't what you want them to be, and you feel powerless. But every single human has the capacity to change their situation. I'm not saying that it's easy, because I'm looking at the rest of the cards. I pulled more cards for you than the other people, and I think it's going to be a journey, but it could be difficult, but the opposite is just sitting and doing nothing and living in a life you don't want for a very long time. So let's get into it. What is the advice for you in dealing with life and this sense of powerlessness? It is 6 of Swords, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is blended pleasure. Every cup is overflowing. Every cup is pouring into the other cup. This is total, like, emotional fulfillment, love, joy. This is just a soul overflowing with everything that they could want. And 6 of Swords is going from a place where things are dry and empty and the cups are empty to a place that is overflowing and joyful. And the cards are very simply saying, face in the direction that you want and try whatever it is to get there. There's more advice. That seemed a little vague to me, so I have more cards for you. But The Six of Swords is typically a boat going away from a shore. I think you're on a shore that is so desolate, like desert-like, and then there is this huge obstacle in the way to get to the other side, the shore that you would rather be on. And this is saying, sort of align your boat. Really assess what isn't working in your life and what you truly want. Face in the direction of what you truly want and don't look back. Maybe things aren't going to work out right away. Maybe you're going to fail a couple times as you attempt to get there. Maybe you try to build a raft and it sinks, and then you try to build another raft and it sinks. This is saying, keep looking towards your joy. Keep looking towards what you want. If you need to sit down and be sad because your raft sunk and now you have to build a whole new raft, then sit down and be sad, and then get up and build another raft. Is what these cards are saying. And we have more advice for you. I pulled Six of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. This is going to be a repeating. The swords, I'm telling you, keep popping up. The cards I pulled are telling me that you're actually brilliant. Your mind is a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of times, if you are extremely intelligent, it can work against you, right? Because if your mind is the sword, swords represent mental energy. Swords can hurt. Like, the sharper your sword, the more you can do damage, not only to other people, but also yourself. So I'm getting that you're extremely brilliant. But a lot of times, very brilliant people can be very depressed and miserable because their sword is so sharp that they can hurt themselves with it as well. And this goes to the advice I just gave you, which is keep your attention focused on the place you want to go. That goes along perfectly with the sword. Keep your sword aimed at your desire and stop letting it sort of chop your own mind into pieces and make you sad and make you depressed. You have to use this incredible weapon that you have, which is your mind and your mentality, and point it in the direction that you want to go. Keep it pointed at what you want. Keep it focused towards what you want to create. Six of Pentacles is a card about reciprocity. It's a card about, in the traditional deck, it is someone with money giving money to someone who doesn't have any. And with the understanding that the situations could be reversed. It's about reciprocity. So they do something for you, you do something for them. And this makes a lot of sense with your powerlessness, because unfortunately a lot of powerlessness in the world we live in today is because of lack of money. It makes complete sense why you would feel that if you are in a situation where you don't have money, why you would feel powerless, why you would feel like you can't build the life that you want. But these two cards together are saying Six of Pentacles is about someone giving money to someone who doesn't have it. Queen of Swords, not only is she brilliant, but she's completely ruthless. In this card, she's literally chopped off someone's head. She doesn't take anybody's crap. So this is very much, these two together are telling me that you need to be ruthless about what it is you truly deserve. I don't know if someone owes you something and they aren't paying it, or if a job, if you're doing more at your job than what your job position entails and you should be getting paid more, or if you do freelance work, you aren't charging enough, something like that. This is saying you need to know your worth, you need to know your value, and you need to be absolutely ruthless in getting what you truly and actually deserve. And I know this is easier said than done. If you're in a bad work environment, it's a lot. You can say you need more, you're doing more, and they don't have to give to you because people are desperate now and they can't just quit, and I understand that. This is saying if one place refuses to give you what you deserve, you could still, work there and get what you're getting, but definitely be looking elsewhere. Be looking towards, acknowledge that the place you're working, if they're not paying you enough, and this is an example, you can apply this anywhere. If you're in a relationship and they just aren't giving you enough to sort of fulfill your emotional energy, wherever in your life isn't giving you enough, acknowledge it and then look for something better. I'm not saying you can just up and quit your job if they don't give you a raise and you deserve it, but you can focus your attention not on the hopelessness of the situation you're in, but in the possibility that something better is out there. And I was a bit confused with the Six of Pentacles at first, so I pulled a card to clarify it and got the Hierophant, which is, the Hierophant is the teacher, the person who understands spirituality. And once again, you're getting the message that you're brilliant. You are so smart and so sharp, and I feel like it comes from you. You do not need to be told what to do. You have the ability to independently learn and do incredible things and acquire skills, acquire what you need. You can do something outside of the norm. And this sort of gets reiterated in the next cards, but if the traditional job isn't doing what you need it to do, you have the intelligence, Hierophant and Queen of Swords, you have the intelligence to build something that someone not as smart as you maybe you just wouldn't be as good at. This is like your own business, or if you're in a traditional job, maybe you look into like a freelance job or something online. You can be very creative with the way you get your resources because you're smart enough to do it. And if one thing doesn't work out, you are smart enough to learn the lessons as to why it failed and build something else a bit better. This is like the example with the raft. If you're on the shore you don't want to be on, you build a raft and it sinks. You are smart enough to say, okay, I understand this raft sunk because of this, so I'm not going to do that next time. I know better next time. They're saying your mind is such a powerful force. And I pulled more cards for more advice for you and got Nine of Pentacles and King of Swords. You have King of Swords and Queen of Swords, and it is just you. This card is saying, once again, your mind, the way that you think, maybe you think in a unique way, your mind is so powerful and so strong, and I'm getting like it's incredibly adept. Like it can adapt so quickly and easily. It can see, oh, this thing doesn't work. Let me pivot and do it in a different way. Like your mind is such a powerful resource. And I think that is the seat of where all your power is. Your brain, your resourcefulness, your ability to learn independently, and your ability to persevere through difficult situations because you can easily see what went wrong and do it better the next time. These are not things that everyday average person can do. Like, I don't think you're realizing the cards are reiterating Queen of Swords, King of Swords. Like, they're Hierophant. They're reiterating that you have, I don't think you realize how powerful your mind is and how incredible it is. And I don't think you've tapped into what it can fully do. And the cards are saying you feel powerless. You feel like your situation is hopeless. You have such an innovative, creative mind. You can figure your way out of this situation. Nine of Pentacles is a card of someone who has the ability to create their own resources, who is very comfortable and confident, They have resources to live the life that they want. This is, I mean, you started off with powerlessness, and Nine of Pentacles is total power. This is a single person who has built their own resources, who is confident in their ability to get more resources when they need it, and who uses their resources for whatever the heck they want. This is like the single and loving it card, like living your best life on your own. You can travel when you want. You can build a house. You live in whatever house you want. You will have options because you built your own foundations. You built your own resources. And with the King of Swords next to it, you are going to do this with your incredible mind. You're so smart. And you might say, yeah, sure, maybe I'm smart, but look at my life. It's kind of crap. Like, I didn't do a good job. Well, that's okay. That happens all the time. There's a very typical thing where, like, the talented and gifted kids in school who do incredible at school really struggle once they're out of school, because school didn't really help them with the way their mind worked. And if you are building something bigger and more incredible, it's going to take more time. People who aren't as smart as you, people who don't have this incredible cleverness in their mind, can be satisfied with less than what you're satisfied with. So if you're in, I keep using the job as an example, but it doesn't have to be job. But if you're in a job that you hate and that is crushing your soul and making you miserable, that could be because you are so smart. It can't stimulate you. It can't give you what you need. Someone who doesn't have the brain power you have could be completely satisfied with that job. Like, of course, they might want more money, but the job itself is stimulating enough to them. It gives them whatever it is they need. You have such a powerful mind that it's not going to be satisfied with less, with what other people can be satisfied with. You need more. So that takes longer to build. You actually got, I almost forgot, but you actually got like a special side message. I had some of these cards for the advice, and I was figuring them out. I picked up the deck, and a card flew out and fell into the floor. I have like a wood floor where it has like the lines between the wood, and the card actually like stabbed itself between the wood planks in my floor and was just standing up in my floor, which I hadn't had happen before. But it is a special side message for you. I didn't pull cards about, I pulled advice for other people, but this card came through as, this is 10 of Wands, Lord of Oppression. The special side message I have for you is to do shadow work or parts work, to do deep inner work with oppression. I feel like you are carrying a vibration of oppression that is obviously holding you back in your life and keeping you from manifesting bigger, better things. I think that this could even be, I mean, we pulled other advice for you, but this could even be the first thing that you do. Like, look into emotional work. One that could help you is actually a video. I have done it so many times, but there is a process. The video is by Teal Swan, and I know people have different thoughts about her, but I've done this process so many times, and it is so helpful. It is a video by her that called How to Heal the Emotional Body, where you think of an emotion. In your case, it would be oppression, and you just let it fill you up, and then you sort of trace it back to its origin and unpack that. The video will walk you through how to do it, but I think that would be very helpful for you to do and for you to try, because there is some deep vibration of oppression in you, and it is mirroring in your world. And if you don't have sort of the inner world correct or healed to a certain extent, it's going to keep mirroring, and you're going to keep getting the same situation. So there is a special side message for you to work on, on healing this sense of oppression that you feel, and doing deep inner work, shadow work. If you don't want to do that video, just look into whatever sort of shadow work works for you, and just really reckon with your emotion of oppression that you're carrying, and see if you can unpack it and get that out of your body, out of your system, and out of your life. Okay, so we're winding down here. The last few cards I have for you, I pulled, if you do all of these things, what is on the other side? You got Knight of Cups and Last Judgment. Knight of Cups is an emotionally fulfilling life. So in the beginning, you got Knight of Wands, I believe. The Knight of Wands, which just runs straight for what it wants. Knight of Cups is someone who goes for what they want with emotional happiness and emotional fulfillment. You will be able to, if you follow these steps, on the other side is your ability to joyfully create the life that you want. I think right now it's probably a struggle. It's probably going to be like you'll have some difficulties in the beginning, but once you're on the other side, you'll be able to go after what you want with joy and with happiness. Last Judgment is a card of shedding all of the old things and rising up in a new, fresh way. It's like feeling rejuvenated. So what's on the other side is this shedding of all this darkness and powerlessness and oppression, and rising up into the power that you do innately have that can't leave you. I know you feel powerless right now, but you have the power to create your life in you. It never goes away. And all of that crap that was gunking you up and making you feel powerless and making you feel oppressed in your own life sheds off, and you become someone who is able to enjoy their moment and go after what they want in a happy way. So this is a difference of you sitting on a desolate shore and having to do all this work to cross the water to get to the other side. That's how it's going to start. But in the end, you'll just be sitting by the water, like reading a book or listening to music and enjoying yourself, and then say, oh, I want a fresh apple off the tree. And you leave, and with joy, because you were in a good situation anyway, you get up and you walk into the forest in the woods and you pull an apple off the tree and eat it. You don't have to build a raft. You don't have to do all this work constantly. It becomes easier to create what you want. You'll unlock a joyful, powerful energy, a joyful ability to manifest. And the last cards I have for you, Nine of Cups and High Priestess. 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups is your wish coming true. You have the ability to joyfully manifest and joyfully make your wishes come true. Even if it feels like a very intense struggle at the beginning. Once you are over that hurdle, once you are good with the struggle, you don't have to take up that struggle every time. High Priestess. It's really incredible that you got Queen of Swords and King of Swords and Hierophant and High Priestess, because those are the masculine and feminine versions of the same card. So I really think that you are an incredibly dynamic person who has so much complexity and so much to offer, because you got the masculine and feminine versions of two different sets of cards. You have so much inner resources. Like King and Queen of Swords is absolutely the sharpest, perceptive, brilliant, clever, resourceful mind. And then you got Hierophant and High Priestess, which are brilliant as well. Brilliant, intuitive, spiritual. They understand the layers of things, and they understand how physicality and spirituality play together, and how you can use both of them to your advantage. Like we were saying with the oppression, if you heal oppression inside of you, it stops being reflected outside of you. You understand those deep spiritual things just innately, and you know how spirituality and physicality and your inner world and outer world play with each other. You have the ability for very high levels of mastery here. And unfortunately, when our soul wants to learn something, it tends to come in the exact opposite of that thing. So I think one of the things your soul came into this life to learn is power. So it came in to very powerless, oppressive situations so that you can master power and master creating your life, master manifesting. It might not feel like it right now. These cards are saying you very clearly have master manifester abilities. And the way that you know this is because you've been struggling so hard to manifest. And that's sort of a cruel sort of joke the universe can play on us. But the reason things aren't working out for you is because that will lead you, if you master the hardest, darkest aspects of something, it gives you such a stronger ability, such a deeper understanding. Like Hierophant and High Priestess have the deepest understandings of like anyone in the deck. They're so intuitive, they're so spiritually aware. And once you go down this road, you will have gone through like so much. You will have spanned the whole spectrum from powerless to power. And you will be a master of it. And you can create anything you want. And you can build life any way you want. And you can make any wish come true. It's just going to be difficult in the beginning because that's how people tend to learn best. But the lessons don't have to repeat. Once you figure out the way to build the raft, you don't have to figure it out again. You use your raft, get to the other side, and then you see what else you have to build to get closer to what you want. So that was a lot of information. I hope that made sense. Let me know if you want clarity down below. You're brilliant, you're powerful, and I'm sorry you're in the situation that you're in right now, but you have incredible power inside of you. It's just a matter of very slowly getting it outside of you and building things in the way that you want. So I hope that that was helpful, and good luck to you, and keep your eyes and your mind focused on what you want. All right. Thank you for being here, and good luck. Bye.